G'day folks, it's Laura here, and today I'm going to do a flip cup pour. This time my colours include dioxazine purple, purple madder, plum pink, jaune brilliant, opal, premium metallic lustrous gold, as well as titanium white. Now with these darker colours, I'm only going to use a small amount of paint so that they don't overwhelm the painting. So recently I've been trialing new pouring mediums. The reason why I've been doing this is because the main component, the wall paint or neutral base that I have been using in my pouring medium, they changed the formula a little bit and it became a little bit more opaque. And I wasn't super happy with the results. And so what I'm trying to do now is slightly modify my pouring medium so it's a little bit more translucent again. And to that end, I've reduced some of that neutral base down to 50%. I've included a new proprietary pouring medium. Now this one is the Atelier pouring medium. And so I've got 17% of that in here. Now the reason why I don't just use the proprietary pouring medium straight is because they're very expensive. Some brands more expensive than others. I think the Atelier tends to be a slightly less expensive brand, and so that's what we're trialing today. And of course I've still got 10% gloss varnish in there, as well as the GAC 800 medium. Now this particular trial is all with Jo Sonja paints, because when I tried a mix of Pebeo and Jo Sonja paints, I found that the Pebeo, in combination with this new pouring medium trial, the Pebeo was just way too thick. And so the Jo Sonja are naturally much thinner paints. As you can see, they don't have a lot of body to them. And so I'm just trying to see whether this new trial pouring medium will work just with Jo Sonja paints. Now for the thicker colours, where I used only a small amount of paint, I'm similarly only going to use a small amount of pouring medium. One of the lovely benefits of the Jo Sonja paints is not only that they're quite thin, but they're extraordinarily rich in colour. And when you mix them up, because they are a lot thinner, they don't develop as many bubbles. So it's time to layer my cup now. And for this, I'm going to use my standard cell activator. I'll link to a video on how to make this if you're interested. So I'm going to start by layering a generous layer on the bottom and the sides of the cup. So for some of these colors, I'm actually dropping them from a little bit of a height. And when I do that, it causes more churning or mixing amongst the layers. And that effect is known as a dirty flip cup. So I've already prepared my canvas. This is the back of my canvas. I've added painter's tape as well as giant push pins. So it's time to flip the cup now. Now with this pouring medium, although it's a little bit thicker than the previous pouring medium, I'm just using Jo Sonja paints, and those tend to be quite a lot thinner. And so with such a full cup, I am expecting this to go all over the table. Wow, beautiful. So I'm just going to get the rest of the paint out of the cup, spread it around the edges and corners. So I've definitely got some interesting patterns coming up here. Now they are mostly on the edges, which is not super helpful because it's obviously very difficult to retain them if they're on the edges. So just starting by stretching that paint out a little bit. And we'll see how we go with the gentle spin. Okay, I'm really liking what's happening over here. I think that's just beautiful. I'm very close to these corners, which is excellent. I don't think it's going to take too much more to get these off the corners. So just putting it slightly off center because this is the corner that has the least. Okay, we're just about off all the corners. It is just this one up here that I'm a little concerned about. So I'm just going to pull some paint from the table and from underneath and just coat that edge and that corner. That'll help the paint to slide a little bit easier. And by sliding a little bit easier, we'll get closer to the corner. And I might do the same down here. Just selecting some paint that's kind of a suitable colour. Okay, so maybe one last final spin. Actually, before I do that, I'm just going to pull the paint away from that corner very slightly. Amazing. This one's really interesting. So we're going to cover the corners. And pull the paint off from underneath. I'm super happy with this one. So I am getting a lot of layering, and I think that's because, first of all, this should be a slightly clearer pouring medium, and secondly because I've used the Jo Sonja paints, which are a lot thinner. Overall, I'm getting this really beautiful combination of colors, and it almost looks like it's framing a picture in the center. So I've got a little bit of a border down here and on the left and over on the top here. And then I've got these beautiful wisps coming through of layers that are mixing the colors. So I'm really pleased with this one. And in terms of the pouring medium, I'm fairly happy with the thickness of that pouring medium. I was getting a lot of bubbles in there, and I think that's probably because I shook up the medium just before using it. So I'll need to be careful about that. But on the whole, I think perhaps this combination might work. And so thanks very much everyone for watching. Please let me know what you think in the comments.